Hi guys, Squally here. I'm at Excavator in the UK and this is the home of JCB. JCB Headquarters right behind me. Now, to celebrate the launch of JCB equipment into Construction Simulator, Astragon and JCB have invited me here to learn about the history of JCB, its equipment, and hopefully we'll get a go of something down in the quarry. Let's jump inside and see what we've got. We had no idea at this stage what was in store. We had a basic agenda, but I didn't know if I'd actually get to drive any vehicles today. After a short presentation in their own personal cinema, we were then taken on a guided tour of their private museum. The museum was laid out like a walking timeline from 1945, with models, replicas, rear vehicles, and equipment from across JCB's history. After leaving his family's agricultural business, Joseph Cyril Bamford, the founder of JCB, started his business in 1945 in a rented garage, producing tipping trailers out of scrap metal and World War II surplus parts. After a few years, he applied his engineering mindset to developing some engineering classics. So the guy was just telling us that when the founder of JCB started, he designed and built this thing. All the red stuff you see on that, he designed. So what he did was he put an excavator on the back of a tractor which had a bucket loader on the front and called it the Backhoe Loader. And effectively what that allows is one person to excavate the ground and then bucket load it away, clear it away. So it's very much a one-man operation and it's very compact as well, so you can get into really tight spaces. And the natural iteration of that was to this thing. And what he did with this one was he had two hydraulic stands on the back, but if you look, that excavator can move along the back of the tractor, which allows it to, park up against a wall or something and still excavate a trenched area out. And then you get to this. By this point, these things were getting so strong that they actually started a dance routine to music where they were sort of coordinated, get on the back, tip up in the air, and they do shows. Fascinating stuff. Then that's just the Backhoe Loader. That's like one thing that JCB does. From its earliest innovations to land speed record-breaking diesel-powered cars and the exploration of new ways to power construction machinery, it's fascinating to see the history of this company, which, like every good museum, ends in a merchandise store. We were then off to see JCB in the virtual world. They'd set up a very large screen computer and a pre-release version of Consim using the JCB DLC. The whole JCB team were very proud and excited to see the results. We had gamers there, seasoned construction machine drivers, and we took turns in a mini head-to-head competition. In real life, these guys were experts in operating the vehicles, but in the game, an Xbox controller was completely alien to them. Snack time. It's important to have tea and biscuits before you drive an excavator. Now it was my turn. Now I've put quite a few hours into Construction Simulator, so I was happy digging trenches in my favourite vehicle, the Excavator, using an Xbox controller, but I had no idea that I would soon get to drive one of these for real.
When we teach people to drive diggers, we talk about imagining your bucket is like an ice cream scoop. You whack your spoon at one end and you pull it like across the surface of the ice cream and it slowly like curls it.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the other end of the pot, you've got a nice full scoop.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to achieve.
Yeah.
You sort of got the hang of that. So yeah, do what he did.
I'm trying to resist the urge to drive backwards though, because I know that works in the game. We were then put on a coach and taken to JCB's quarry. This is where they test equipment, train staff, and give customers hands-on experience. Now, after a beautiful sunny morning spent indoors, the afternoon at the quarry, it was cold and it was wet. Luckily, everything went ahead, but the cameras did get a little bit of rain on them. We was given a safety presentation, popped on some safety boots, helmets, and high-vis, and I headed down for my first experience, the Backhoe Loader.
Right, horn.
Right, horn. It sounds like it's over there somewhere.
It's pretty quiet when you're in the
amazing.
car. Right, okay. On that right-hand joystick, there's a button on the back. Press that button, it'll go green. There you go. Pull it towards you, it'll lift the loader arm up. Push it down, it'll lower the loader arm. Pull it really gently, moves really slowly. Pull it hard, moves fast. Crowding your dump is towards the window and into your body. So if you dump it, you're going to dump it away from you. If you want to crowd the material in, you crowd it in towards your body.
Did you say crowd?
Yes, dumping
I see. I'm learning the terms. I like this.
Yeah. So that's just here, left hand side.
Okay,
So
all strapped in.
press on the brake. Release that handbrake.
Which is the handbrake?
That's the one there. So
Yes.
you need to just kind of pull that little lever towards you. That's it, and push it forward. Handbrake's released. Put a bit of pressure on the brake so we're not going to surge forward as you move it in. And up. There you go. So you're in first now. It's in third gear on here. Now we're in four-wheel steer, so all four wheels are going to turn us the way we want to go. So you will find it sort of responds quite quickly to steering.
Okay.
Yeah, release your brake, give it a bit of acceleration. Go for a drive.
Where are we going?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can drive around this little bit in the middle, do a little turning circle here. You'll find it's got a pretty tight turn, so if you whack on full lock now, you can get yourself around pretty quickly.
That is quite good, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice tight turning circle. So you can go around this little bit if you want to. So it's got what's called smooth ride system on at the moment, which is basically like a stop dampener.
Where do you want to go?
Arms. Go around that way, yeah. Like a bit of a damper in the loader arms, so it just means you get a nice smooth ride when you're driving around sites.
Is that what? Because when you got on the sim, you went, "Oh, has this not got SRS
Yeah,
or something?"
SRS,
I was thinking, "What's that?"
I was bumping all over the place. So let's go and grab some material.
Okay.
So, if you get yourself nice and head onto that pile like you are now, that's good. We'll drive up to it a little bit closer, and then we'll get our front shovel in position. So that's looking good about there. So you can leave it in gear, just keep that foot on the brake.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going into the pile of material, we want to make sure that the front shovel is level with the ground.
Yeah.
If it's tilted too far back, you're just going to go over the material. If it's
Yeah.
tilted too far forward, you're going to end up digging into the ground.
Is
So
it
we want
just
to be
purely
nice and
visual,
level.
or is there any indicator?
There
that you
are,
can...
yeah, there's a few little indicators. Basically, there's a little ledge on the far top left corner of that bucket, which is
Yeah.
probably pointing like that.
Okay.
So if you start towards the window, keep going, keep going, keep going, there's about level. Now, it doesn't look particularly level from here, but there's another indicator for me. On the right-hand loader arm there,
Yeah.
there's a little pin. If you crowd it in towards your body now, watch that little pin poke out. Can you see it? It's up
Yeah.
halfway up the loader arm there.
Yeah.
When that pin is sort of like just about to disappear into the hole,
Yeah.
a little bit more, about there,
Okay.
that's bucket level. So yeah, and then lower it down and you'll feel the ground. There's the ground.
Yeah.
Now if we drive forward at that, we're going to start digging up the ground.
Yeah.
So what you'd usually do is lower it down to feel the ground, and then lift off slightly. That'll do. Then at that we can start driving into the pile.
Okay.
We'll knock it down a gear, so we'll go down into second.
And we need to power into it.
Power into it, yeah. You want to try and avoid any wheel spin. So the way that we handle that is when we hit a little bit of resistance, you just want to like lift up a little bit and crowd back a little bit, but then keep pushing forward. Don't crowd too much.
Okay. Like that.
Perfect. Yeah.
You'll start crowding it yet, or?
Yeah. Crowd it back now. Lovely. I give you that.
Okay.
You've done
We got a
nice
full
and well
load.
there. Nice full load. Yeah. Spot on. That little yellow marker's gone all the way around. You've got a full bucket.
Bing!
So yeah, so we can reverse back at that. Something that we don't do in real life is we don't drive with the loader arm really high in the air.
Okay.
Because that's the risk of the machine like tipping over or something. So, I mean, you can tip that back from where you just got it from if you want to, and we'll go for another load. There you go. Got it. Can we go for it again?
Yeah, let's do
Reverse
it.
back, get the bucket level on the ground. So you're going to want to get it nice and level. Tip it forward.
Right, so.
Touch the ground, then lift off a little bit. Perfect. Perfect. So it's just scraping the surface at the minute, which is spot on. There you go. So not quite as much that time.
No.
Probably were a little bit easy on the machine then. You probably could have just rammed it in a little bit more to begin with before
Yeah.
you start lifting and crowding.
So dig it in and then start
And the
to.
moment you start to maybe feel those wheels start to spin, then it's your indication to ease off a little bit.
Gotcha.
So that'll do. Lower it down ever so slightly to drive forward. Just start, that's it, start to scrape now, perfect. So don't start lifting or crowding just yet, drive in, give it some. That'll do, too much. Steady.
it suddenly gave and shot forward, didn't it?
So what we can do is, don't crowd it back anymore. We're already crowded back a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep driving forward, but maybe like lifting as we drive forward.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, we've got a tough pile of material here. It's probably not been touched in a while, but there you go. It's all curling in now. Nice, there you go. Better.
I'll take that.
Yeah, spot on that. Good that. You've probably got about...
You feel the weight of it. That's what you don't get in the sim.
Yeah, no, you don't get that.
It doesn't simulate that.
No.
Whereas this, as soon as you pick that up and you
feel it, yeah.
Yeah. Really get a sense of the weight. Should we tip it back?
Yeah, go for it.
See if we can get a nice camera shot.
What you realise with a backhoe, and it's probably the same when you've got that in-cab view on the sim, is like you can't see a lot from inside the cab. In reality, a backhoe is very much about feeling. You know, feeling when you touch the ground, feeling where your shovel is.
And the sounds as well. You get all the sort of those scraping sounds that you hear.
Yeah, where your shovel is positioned.
And the reaction of the suspension, like you get all of that, don't you?
I'd love to have an option when I'm driving a real machine to have an external view, so I could see what was happening at the front there.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
So what we're going to try and do this time is get some good engagement first, and then continue driving forward whilst lifting with a little bit of crowd. So just lift a bit, crowd a tiny bit, lift a bit, crowd a tiny bit.
Okay.
Whilst continuing to power forward into the pile.
Okay.
I tend to actually have my foot on the brake.
Yeah.
And my revs on a bit more full, because then it gives me revving power, giving me power into the loader arm lift, but without getting too much wheel spin.
Which is what happened, didn't it?
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Nice.
Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah, so you can like
get right
back
under
and lift now. That's spot on. Look at that!
Oh, that's
beautiful.
That's more than a full circle.
That is double full circle.
Yeah, that's good.
Spot on. Right, you got the hang of that.
I'll put it all
that
back.
bit, and we'll do some digging.
Okay. Leave it for the next person. It's all right. They've got it all soft now.
You've loosened it all up for them. You've made it nice and easy.
There you go.
So stop about that. Nice little travel position.
After just about getting the hang of the loader, it was time to have a go at the backhoe. We drove up onto some elevated ground, deployed the stability legs, spun the seat around, lifted the window up, and I got stuck in.
So, back end controls. This is what we're talking about, ISO controls now. So, you pull that one back and forward, that's your boom.
Yeah,
boom up, boom down. There's your bucket control, crowd and dump.
Okay.
And then your other one, you push that away, there's your dipper. And then if you turn that left and right, there's your slew control, so it swings.
I can see how this will take getting used to. Right, what are we doing?
So what you want to do is boom down, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got another function as well, if you want me to really confuse you. You've got something called extra dig.
Is that the extension? There it is, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
that's that one.
That's your extra dig.
I've got to unlearn the Xbox controls now
I know.
and relearn this,
so
which is what you just had the other way around. I can see why you was asking for ISO controls now. Right, okay. Right, so pull it back that way.
There we go, nice big scoop.
All right. Oh, hang on, I confused myself. That way. There we go.
I'm enjoying this now.
Yeah. I can see why you would.
Usually I've been very helpful since you told you, yeah, let's go to this, let's go to that. But
yeah, that's up. And you need to crown as you come up a bit, don't you? Yeah, there you go. And then we're going to put it, what, over here somewhere?
Over to the side, come on. You can even reach it out. Put it a bit further away if you want to. Bit of extra dig. There you go.
Oh, hang on.
You're all right.
I need to tilt that in.
The bit actually will still out because you've got a nice full bucket, so...
Like that.
There you go.
It's amazing how far you can actually move
yeah,
this.
it's got some nice reach.
Is that right, though?
Yeah, tip that one there.
Do you, when you're doing this, do you prefer to use the extra dig as part of it, or would you just leave it mostly?
If I didn't need to, I wouldn't. It
you
slows
wouldn't,
down the other services because it adds another flow shaft,
yeah,
basically, to the hydraulics. So if you use it, I wouldn't.
Makes sense.
So what you want to do now is, as you're crowding around, you almost want to like dipper out a little bit.
Yeah.
So you get it, yeah. So you're not getting too close up. There you go.
Take it out that way.
That way, yeah.
Making a mess of the building site.
You all right, like your quarry is what it's designed for.
I can see why it would take you a few hours to get used to this.
Oh yeah.
Until it's like muscle memory, it's natural, which is what was happening
Probably
on the sim for me, and for you it was like...
Could not get my head around it. Basic.
That's pretty good.
You've done it. Tip it outwards so it's nice and flat on the bottom, that's it. Yeah, spot on. Safe way to leave the machine.
Like that.
Very good. All right.
That's great, thank you for that. Guys, that was amazing. That was so much fun. Like, the controls are a bit different to the what's in the sim, but I can see how you could adjust. It'd take me an hour probably, and I'd be natural with the controls. What you don't get in the sim and you do get in the real thing is that whole feeling of weight and suspension movements. You're never going to get that in the sim. There's the physical aspect to it. But the sim definitely prepares you for getting into one of these things. Like, you understand the basics, the mechanics, what you're trying to achieve. But yeah, I've had an absolute blast in this. Well, I'm about to have a go of that thing. Matt is a trainer, operator. You can see he's very experienced at this. I've always wanted to have a go of an excavator, like literally always wanted to have a go of one of these. This is like one of those bucket list items, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. Funnily enough, in the sim, we just did this. We just dug a trench. Just like that, and now I get to do it for real. I don't think I'll be anywhere near as good as him though.
So yeah, if you dig it out, you can start tracking obviously backwards, put the material at the side, similar to what we were doing on the game.
So basically taking all this out here, and putting it out over there.
Yeah, and then don't put it back in again, do a star.
What, like you did down the side?
Yeah, well, whatever you want. It's all good practice. All right then. Ready?
Yeah. Well, here we go. Okay, that's that, that's that. So we go out. It doesn't want to lift that, does it? Interesting. All the resistance that you get. Got a big boulder there, look at that. That's straight back in.
I can see you can operate this pretty good, so we're going to give you some more power.
I thought it was struggling. I was like, it's just like the sim. It doesn't want to come.
I turn it down. That's why I said I don't know what you're going to do, you see.
Okay.
Give you a bit more power now.
All right. Bit more welly. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's so much more natural. I'm determined to get that rock. You little bugger. What's the technique for getting this? There you go. And up. God, how long would that take with a shovel, eh? That's what you got to ask yourself. Now, he said, pretend it's like an ice cream. That's what he said, pretend it's like an ice cream. That's quite a lot, isn't it? That's quite a lot right there. God, blimey. That's a huge amount. If that was Consim, that yellow bar would be completely full right now. That's not a bad little trench, that one. There we go. And he wants it put back as well, so the more I do, the more work I'm making for myself. That's the problem. What's difficult to know is how far to be back when you're doing this. That's the question. Like getting the right position of the excavator. Okay, down you go, and no, it's too much. You got to know how much to take off, because if you try and take too much, the engine struggles and you can feel it. So you want to kind of take, I don't know, a couple of feet maybe, and you sort of pull back. That's where your power is, and then you got to lift and turn the bucket, and that grabs it. Yeah, we're doing all right. Starting to get used to the controls. That is a different kind of soil right there. Look at that. That's your main arm, I think. And if the load's too much, it seems like you need to pull up and start turning the bucket a bit. I bet he wants all this put back now. Marks out of 10, 4. Do you know what? I could spend all day in this thing. I really could. And by the end of the day, I think I've probably just about got used to these controls. It's a careful coordination between the left and the right hand is what this is. It's a sort of scoop and lift at the same time. You can get quite deep with this thing, you really can. So now we're into a different kind of soil again. That's a dry soil. Nobody's dug that up today, I can tell. That was I think I snatched that, is what I did. He's probably looking at that, assessing my technique, and then hopefully he's going to give me some feedback. It's one thing being able to operate the controls, but there's definitely a skill and a technique into how to excavate the ground efficiently. And of course the other thing is I'm messing around here, but a real operator would have to be, you know, digging to a certain depth. I'm just digging to whatever depth I feel like. Oh, there's a big boulder there, you see it? Blimey. The ground around here. I only wish we had a tipper truck and I could like unload into the back of it or something. I'm just thinking about the speed that he refilled this hole, and I'm thinking it'd take me about 4 times as long. Oh. A bit too much on that one, I think. I think the ground's very hard though. You see how dry and powdery it is. I don't know if it was like a rock or something. Just here it was. I'm not so sure about that. We'll take that layer first, I think. It's doing it again. What is going on? Is that ground just really hard or something? Yeah, it is. Look at all the rocks and that. I hit some really tough stuff, I think. These machines are amazing. They really are. I wouldn't say their controls are supernatural yet, like they're really not. But I have a good idea about what I want to do. Look at that trench. Marks out of 10, my friend. It's an absolute hoot, this. So trying to get that topsoil there is more of a bucket turn, a grab action, than it is like a pull action. Whereas when we need to do this is about positioning like that and then pulling back and skim it. This is more the ice cream kind of approach, where you've got to do that, take a bit off the top and then you turn at the end. So you're taking layers like that, basically. Like that now. Got to get it in place at the right angle and then lift while pulling back. It's lift, pull and turn. It doesn't like that. Doesn't like that. You see that? The ground is a bit too hard at that point. You can see the hard stuff there. Probably see it on camera.
Are you okay to fill back in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, next time it's going to start raining again.
Yeah.
And I'll have to start filling it in, if not, unless you want to fill it in.
I can start filling it. Do I just come down the side here?
Sorry?
Do I just come?
Whatever you think's best.
Well, I watched you earlier.
Yeah, that's the quickest way. What we have to do is then compact it all in. I do it in quick so I can give you more time, you see.
Right, what do you want me to do then?
Just put it back in. You show me. You've got the skills.
It's not often that you find yourself sat in an excavator in a quarry and somebody says to you, dig that trench and then fill it back in, and walks away. And you're sat there thinking, I'm now in charge of this beast of an excavator machine, which I've only ever tried in a game. Of course, the one thing that the real machine does have over a game is proper controls. Feet controls to go forward and reverse on the tracks, and individual control sticks, or ISO controls as they're called, to operate the arm and the bucket. It's hard to convey the actual feeling of sitting and operating an excavator for real compared to in a sim, but I can tell you that you can feel the machine working, you can feel the weight, you can hear it struggling if you try to push it too hard. It's just a wonderful experience, and I hope you get a sense of it from the footage. That was amazing. I learned a lot just by doing that.
Yeah, you're really good actually.
I mean, watching you do it, you can see the skill, like the hours of...
Well, I've done a few hours.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like the gaming, isn't it? Yeah, basically, for me to sit down and play games is something I've never really done.
Yeah.
And trying to get my head around using my thumbs where I'm so used to using my hands, it's tough.
It'd be great if they had like these controls,
yes,
but
definitely.
on the computer.
Yeah.
So the muscle memory was starting to come towards the end, so I could start doing a bit more of the finer stuff like pushing material and pulling material, because there's a coordination, isn't there, between pulling and lifting, you know what I mean?
And eye coordination.
Yeah, it's all muscle memory, and then you can start thinking at a high level. But it was brilliant. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was amazing. Bucket list item takes definitely a lot more to it than you think. A lot of fine control. Still very much in the phase of I know what I want to do, I just don't know quite how to do it. There's a lot of subtlety in this that you don't realise, but it was amazing. I mean, what an experience. I'd love to have a little mini excavator just to play around with in the garden, but don't think the missus will let me have one. That was my day over at JCB's headquarters in Uttoxeter. I'd like to thank the team over at Astragon for inviting me on this fantastic day, and also to JCB for putting this together. I really want to thank Sam, Georgina, Matt, James, and the whole team down at JCB. They were so welcoming and accommodating and really made it a special day. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and check out the other video where I show you the JCB vehicles in the simulator. Thank you for watching. Till the next one, take care, guys. Happy constructing.